Yo, what's going on, dudes? Welcome back to Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. My name is Ventus SG, and in this video, I'm responding to a viewer request comment left in my last Fatal Bullet video. He asked if I've ever done a sword slash SMG build, and since I can't ever really recall doing one, I decided to whip something up that should totally work. And guess what? It did. A lot. Like a lot, in fact. So, I'm going to show you a bit of the build in action first, and then afterwards, give you the details of the build. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so the first boss fight I did with the build, let's just call this build the SMG Blade. I took it up against the Executioner, and I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not just saying this, but for some reason my sword attacks were hitting different against this guy, like a lot different. I don't know if it's because of how I have my stats placed or if the sword that I'm using got some sort of a buff, but these numbers are actually crazy, for me anyway. Like, I know some people might have better numbers, but for me, these numbers were insane. Now, as far as the submachine gun goes, the damage was sort of lackluster, and honestly, the only real advantage with the SMG portion of the build that I've seen so far during this fight was the ability to shoot the enemy with debuffs. I tried to switch to SMG at certain times to maximize efficiency, but I feel like I did the opposite, and I should have just been using my sword the entire time. The second fight, I went up against another familiar bad guy, the Freezing Menace, and here the build was actually a bit better because of the type of enemy that the Freezing Menace is. I was able to utilize the SMGs a bit more in this fight because the Freezing Menace isn't really a boss you want to go toe-to-toe with in melee combat because of his spin cycle, so spraying him from afar with the SMGs was optimal. But again, here, my sword was the weapon that dealt most of the damage. The debuffs thrown from the SMG was instrumental in taking this guy down. In the third fight I used this build, I put it to the test and used it against the level 8 defensive tank battle, and if I'm being totally honest, the SMGs were absolutely useless in this sort of fight. I did my best to get some work out of them, spraying the tank's weak spots at certain times, but the damage was insignificant compared to my sword's basic attack and special attacks. The only thing that the SMG seemed good for in this battle was just debuffing the tank. I do believe there were a couple of times where attacking the weak spot with the SMGs disabled the tank for a time, but 100% the sword was where the damage was dealt. I did more tests after this. I actually took the build up against what was literally, literally the longest fight that I've ever done in Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet ever. The co-op normal mission of the Wiry Hierophant. I have no idea how to pronounce either of those words, but it's like this gigantic mech unit, and there's like three of these little tank things on the side, and you've got one of the butchers running around wielding some axe. It was just super long, like, and I did it by myself with nobody. You're supposed to go in there with like other players, but I did it with just NPCs, and the fight was super duper long. Like, they couldn't kill me because, I don't know, the items and, equipment that I was using or whatever, and the skills, they just couldn't kill me, but it was taking forever to kill them, but I actually did it. I would show you that, but it's honestly so long that I'm going to make that video all its own on the next Fatal Bullet upload. So if you're interested in seeing this specific build go up against impossible odds, like literally impossible odds, check back to this channel later on for the next SAO Fatal Bullet upload. But for now, let's take a look at this build. Okay, so my stats for this build are pretty basic and are as follows. My strength at 255 to get maximum sword damage. Vitality 208 so I can equip the tank skill Human Fortress 4. Intelligence likewise at 199 just so I can use a few choice skills. Agility is at 208 because a few 4th tier sword skills call for an exact score of 208 in the agility. Dexterity at 200 for the benefits of higher damage on critical attacks, and then luck at 131. I literally dumped all leftover points in luck because of the higher the luck, the more crits you do. Skills on my SMG, Power Form 4, Armor Form 4, Viral Shot 4, and Toxic Gas Blast. Skills on my swords are Human Fortress 4, which allows you to have super armor against enemy attacks, Cyclone 4, a skill that can knock back certain enemies, Horizontal Square 4 for its wide area of effect, and Vorpal Strike 4 because the damage you can sometimes get from it is just ridiculous. Now, as far as weapons go, for my sword, I'm using my trusty Kagemitsu G9 Type Z, which is literally, I'm going to do it, literally the second or third strongest sword in the game right now. I'm not sure how much more powerful the new swords are because I don't have them yet. So if you know, just let me know down in the comments. Now, for my SMG, I'm using the Sturm KZ4+. I know there are, yeah, literally better SMGs in the game. I'm not going to say literally anymore, literally. But the design of this SMG is just awesome to me. I'm guessing, just like with swords, there is a best, and I'm using air quotes, SMG to use. I really wouldn't know because I don't care too much about SMGs in the game beyond this term, so whatever. If you know what the best SMG is to use in Fatal Bullet, please comment it down below and tell me why and possibly where to get it. All right. So that's the build that I more than likely would choose to run as my go-to build for any situation if I had to run SMG and Sword as a class. Viral Shot and Toxic Gas Blast are key because it weakens the enemy and gives damage over time, so I can destroy whatever enemy with my sword, or if it does have a weak spot that my sword just can't reach, the SMGs will take up the slack. Now, if you like what I do here on this channel, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button and leave me some kind of a comment or suggestion, but be polite. There are way too many a-holes on the internet for, like, no reason, and I don't think this video would give anyone any reason to be rude to me. A few video suggestions are going to pop up on your screen now or in a few seconds, and it would really mean a lot to me if you would check them out. Thank you guys so much, and have an awesome rest of your day.